So we'll see how this goes. We'll see in a minute on the first comment, but we'll try it anyway. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Pit Life Barbecue Podcast, where we talk everything barbecue and a lot of other topics that you talk around the pit. Coming to you live from the Uncle Steve Shake Studios in Center Bonstead, New Hampshire. What is going on, everybody? Oh, there's the notification, so we can share that out right now. Come on, kick it in. Share, good. Sweet. Get some people in. Yes. Brother Steven, Tom, Dutch, Matt, Jr., what's happening? Bat, what's going on? I'm assuming I sound good to everybody on the other side. Sounds perfect. Thank you, Tom. Oh my God, I was so nervous. Steve, I think we figured it out, brother. But today's episode brought to you by Uncle Steve Shake. What can I say, guys? Uncle Steve is an incredible gentleman. 16 amazing flavors, including the sauce with no name. Customer service beyond reproach. You call the number, Steve's answering. You email, Steve's responding to the email. He'll even call you and reach out to you if he has a question with your order. Always willing to help you out on flavor profiles, whatever you're looking for. Incredible. The original, the Gator Shake, the competition line, the new Magic Ribs, the dessert shake. Absolutely fantastic. Check him out at UncleSteveShake.com and also follow along on his Facebook group, Uncle Steve's Shake Nation, for all the latest and greatest. It's not too early. I'll drop it. New package coming out soon for the holiday season. It's a one of everything package, all wrapped up, nice, pretty bow, shipping, handling, all included. 16 bottles, flat rate, $100. So keep an eye out on that. You cannot beat that price. On 16 bottles of rub these days? Heck no. So check that out. Like I said, there'll be some posts coming, and keep an eye on the website for that. And remember, Uncle Steve Shake. Shake some on everything. Also brought to you by Joe's Meat Market. Joe's Meat Market, the diamond of Royce City, Texas. Gabriel and his crew doing an incredible job. The freshest meats, custom cuts available. You need something to cut a certain way, Gabriel's got you. You need something he doesn't carry, he can get it for you. Produce brought in fresh daily. All the regular backyard or competition needs, got you covered there too. Rubs, sauces, smoking wood product, chunks being carried now, amongst other tools and everything. Feeling a little bit hungry? He got you covered there too. Gabriel's mom's behind the counter mixing up fresh, authentic Mexican cuisine. Get a nice bowl of menudo, some tacos, a whole bunch of other stuff. And if you are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area this weekend, swing by Joe's Meat Market for a meet and greet with Uncle Steve. Uncle Steve will be at Joe's Meat Market on Saturday. Slinging shake, shaking hands, got swag going out. All the boys will be there. They're having all types of stuff. Let me see real quick. Big Rome had messaged me earlier. Where is it? Where is it? This meet and greet will have giveaways from Uncle Steve, Smoky Woods, Papa Joe's Barbecue Supply, and Joe's Meat Market. And there are also food available: brisket, poppers, hog turds, ribs, and sausage. So if you're in like I said, the Dallas Fort Worth area, swing by Royce City to Joe's Meat Market. Meet Uncle Steve, meet Gabriel, meet Roman, the crew, Texas Barbecue Chapter, for looking to be a great time. Joe's Meat Market for the win. All right, we had a bunch of guys pop in. Skip from Long's Quest, what's up, brother? Has been a long time. Big Rome, NBL, Tim Rogers, brother Steven, what's happening? Mad Max, call you out, brother. Smitty, what's happening? Kathy, what's going on? Tom, yep. And there's Greg Pino. What's happening, brother? All right, guys, I'm excited about tonight. We're starting the month-long series of the Jack Daniels World Championship Invitational. And New England is being represented by, I believe, 7 teams this year. So I took this advantage to get a bunch of the local teams that I've known, became friends with, compete with, and against, and spotlight them, their journey and, what it's like from their opinion, being from New England and going throughout the country, doing competitions and, the what is New England know about barbecue thing. So we're going to get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we have Jeff and Dan from El Jefe Smoke. What's
going?
Up, boys? What's up, Dan? What's up, Jeff?
What's up?
We're ready. This is our first podcast, so let's go.
All right. So first and foremost, are you boys still pinching yourselves that you're heading to the Jack?
It's starting to feel real now that it's close. When it happened, It was like a thing. It didn't feel like it was going to actually happen, even though, we hit an auto. And now that it's close, we actually have plans and we've signed up and we've got confirmation. Like, it feels real.
Nice. Yeah, I'm pumped for you. I'm pumped for you guys. I'm pumped for all the guys, all the teams. You guys are out there week in, week out, all over New England and beyond, throwing your best products out there, always working at the crafts. And, it's not one of these you hit the auto. That you guys have been striving for this for years now. And, to see it finally come through for you guys, man, I'm pumped. I am pumped. I wish I could be down there with you all.
Well, come on down and hang out. You're more than welcome.
I'll know a bunch of people. What are the,
people.
So let's start here. Let's see. Jake Corbin, what's up? Big D, what's up, Dave? Oh, a huge shout out to Big D, my boy Dave, and especially for everybody in the New England area. Dave is managing a new barbecue restaurant right on Weirs Beach in Laconia called, let's see, I have it here. I'll just tilt the damn thing. The Fancy Bar and Grill. And me and Mrs. Maggs swung up there yesterday and was sampling the wares, and it is fantastic. And it is the home of Uncle Steve's Shake, is the seasonings being used up there. And Dave has been working on the menu for quite a while now, incorporating the different things. So if you're up there, right on Weirs Beach, right on the boulevard, the Fancy, stop in, see Dave, tell him I sent you. All right. All right. So, Jeff, we'll start with you. Um, you know, tell everybody a little bit about you. Who you are, where you grew up, what you do for a living, and how you started into getting into barbecue originally. Then we'll go with shoot it up to you, Dan.
Sure thing. Yeah. I was born in New Hampshire. I went to college at UNH in New Hampshire. Still live in New Hampshire. Love this state. It's great place. Um, Went to school for electrical engineering, and now I work for part of Amazon, leading a software quality assurance team. So Um, Dan and I actually met in the industry. We had similar jobs about 25 years ago, Dan, roughly,
Yep.
and became like fast friends. And we had another friend who's actually on the team with us originally, named John Daniels. I think it was a aha moment. We had all been hanging out, and Dan and I went over to his place. He cooked like the best ribs I ever had in my life. And I left there thinking, wow, if John can cook really good ribs, maybe I can someday. And that was legit, at least how I started like smoking meat and getting into it. Just the aspect of cooking in the backyard, and I think we did that. At least I did for a long time. And until one day, it was the same thing. People started coming over my house, or I think Dan may relay a similar story, and people kept saying, "Wow, this is really good. This is really good." Um, and we ended up just signing up for Harvard. I think it was 2013. So me, John, and Dan. It was a mismatch of equipment. Weber Smoky Mountain, a homemade barrel that I had. I think Dan had a big green egg that we actually gingerly transported over to the contest, and uh, our friend John got eighth in ribs in the first contest ever. We didn't even know about these things. We didn't even know it was a professional event. Like we just signed up and went. We had no clue.
Yeah.
I think I tied for 10th in chicken and lost the tiebreaker, got 11th, and we finished like mid pack on the other two meats, and we left there going, "Wow, apparently our stuff isn't terrible." So kind of get the bug, kind of got a call, that one rib call with John cooking those ribs. And, as you've heard time and time again on this podcast, I think the hook was in.
Yeah. For sure. For sure. What do you say there, Dan?
Yeah. So I grew up in Oxford, Massachusetts. I've been, based in Mass pretty much my whole life. I've worked in technology, as Jeff said. We met we had the same job. We were on the same team and worked together. Nowadays, I run cybersecurity engineering for my firm globally, and that helps pay for the bills to run this hobby, which isn't too cheap. So I'm always thankful that I have a job to keep us going. And my story is really the same as Jeff. We had the same journey. John Daniels, he was our original teammate. We started as a team of three when we did it because John was cooking all these amazing ribs. And just like Jeff, I was like, well, I want to do this. Jeff made his homemade barrel. I went home, did some research. I went in a different direction. I got a big green egg. I still own it. I still love it. I still cook on it regularly. Um, and one day Jeff just calls me out of the blue. We're all watching also Barbecue Pitmasters at the time, that first series that came out, right? Like that kind of had me hooked.
Oh
And
yeah.
we would, people come over, they tell you, oh, you should run a restaurant. This food is so good. That kind of it builds you up a bit. And Jeff just calls me out of the blue. He's like, hey, there's this barbecue competition in Harvard, Massachusetts. You want to do it? I didn't even ask my wife. I was just like, yeah, I want to go do that. That sounds awesome. Right. And like you said, we rolled in with just like all kinds of different equipment, literally no idea what we're doing. We were using, we weren't buying rubs that were competition grade rubs. We were making everything from scratch, sauces from scratch, literally no idea what we were doing, but cooking a lot, right? Like I was cooking
Hmm.
all the time. We kind of divided up the proteins and just went at it. Like you said, like to get a call out of the gate, and that was John who got the call. That kind of gave you the bug where you were like, that was really rewarding to hear your name get called, and that's what kept us hooked for years. Like even when we had years that we didn't do great, you'd occasionally get that one great call, and it just hooked you.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And like you said, with the pit masters, that's a lot of our stories. We're sitting on the couch and watching this thing, going, something.
Yeah.
I bet I could do that.
Yeah, I also remember thinking, like, what did Johnny Trigg's ribs really taste like? Like, I wanted to know, like, what was on there compared to what I was cooking. I always had that curiosity. And once Jeff called me up, I was like, let's do it. And then, we did the same thing a year later. We rolled in, again, no idea what the hell we were doing the same thing we did in year one, but we just wanted to have a good time, met some great people. And it's the people that hooks you too, right? You end up like just making a lot of friends quick.
There you go. There you go. And has anybody brought up the fact that your other teammate by the name of John Daniels is a little ironic this year?
Yeah.
Oh, Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
he
funny.
He decided he'd like to sleep more than compete, and that was kind of the end of him.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So what year was it? You guys I suppose really officially started competing. You had the one in Harvard.
Yeah, so we had two in Harvard, 2013 and 2014. Those were the first 2 years. 2015, I don't remember if we did 4 or 6 events, but that's when we were like, we're going to do this more, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. We want to go around. We want to not just do the one event a year anymore. I mean, Jeff, how long did we do that? I mean, we kind of ran.
Yeah, so that next year we did 5, and then we teetered between 5 and 6 for a long time. Just checking my notes real quick, like a really long time. And we both had young children. I mean,
yeah.
Now we're kind of more fortunate. Like my oldest son is about to turn 17. My youngest is about to turn 12. Dan's daughter just turned 14. So, it's a little easier for us now. But before it was, I think our wives felt like we are just dumping the children and escaping for entire weekends and to even, yeah. So, so now it's not so bad as the kids have their own things going on and they're kind of busy and whatnot. So that allows us to get out a lot more.
Yeah, my kid actually comes to competition and competes in Kids Q.
Yeah,
and she's got her own team with Scott McDonald's daughter now doing KCS backyard a little bit. So they've been dipping their toes in. We let my daughter cook ribs in Epping, New Hampshire this year, and she took first place. So
that's right. That's right.
It's been exciting. So again, my daughter got older. She chose to come do the things Dad was doing, and that's been really, really exciting for me to have her come. She can't come to all of them, right? Because there's a lot. We got to move around a lot. She's got her own life, but when it matches up, it's fun to have her there and competing with us.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, my kids have come to the past 2 that I did, and they kind of get bored. They do and don't. It's like, okay, go do whatever. Cora last year, my daughter brought her friend. It's like, okay, go walk around, disappear. I'll be right here. But it's great that it's something that you can get the families in, the wives, the children, everybody involved for the weekend and just have a great weekend with everybody. And, that's what I love the most about it. So you guys have been going strong now for, like I said, 14, so 10 years. When did the equipment start upgrading? Because right now you guys are cooking on, is it everything Humphreys, or we still mixing and matching?
We got some drums and we got a big Humphreys Pint Plus, so that's kind of the set.
Okay.
We got that. Ironically, I told this story when we won ribs at the rib shootout like last year. We got that Humphreys. It used to be Chad and Nicole's personal cooker that they competed on.
Okay.
Sold it to us, and then like a week or 2 later was the Humphreys first like real Humphreys rib shootout. We went up there, used that. We brought that cooker. I think Dan had maybe done 1 test cook on it, and we won it. So
Yeah.
that thing is that's a rib cooking machine. Those Pint Pluses, unbelievable rib cookers. And the great thing is you can get 4 racks of ribs with a decent amount of space between each rack right across the top, so they cook evenly. The color's perfect. Nothing's dripping on it. Like,
Yep. Yeah, I mean, we started switching. I mean, the big green egg scared me. Every time I picked that thing up, I just had fears of dropping it and it just turning to dust, right? Like they're great cookers. They're not meant to move around. So I think in 2015 I bought a pint from Humphreys because we went to the first couple of events and that's all you saw everywhere. Like there were a lot of cool homemade smokers and stuff like that. I remember like a yellow submarine. I don't remember whose that was, but there was some cool stuff out there. But there are Humphreys everywhere. And so I was kind of just like, well, these seem to work. So, I started doing some research online, and to be able to support a business that was local was important. And, we got to drive up there, we got to meet them, and Chad and Nicole are just great people. Brandon, who works with them, they're just such a great team, and they take care of all their customers. So, I got that pint. We started cooking on that for years, right up until we got that Pint Plus in 2016, I think is when we bought the Pint Plus. And, we had to switch equipment, and Jeff's been making homemade barrels, these ugly drums, like since day one. That was his choice out of the gate.
actually, I think Dan John was the first one of us that he got that. His
Or a battle box.
A battle box on a cart, which we ended up dropping out of the back of a motorhome on Dan once.
Yeah. We dropped the battle box on me. Actually, that was the first event I ever got a call. Yeah. Drop a battle box on my leg. I had to get crutches. I literally thought my leg was broken, so I hobbled around on crutches, but I didn't want to leave the event. So I stayed. We got a third place pork call that day. And I was just so excited I stayed because I was like, if I left, I never would have got that call. It was an unfortunate accident. I didn't break my leg. It was just bruised. I recovered from it. The battle box is still bruised to this day. If you go see it, you'll see it's got a nice scar in the skin on
it. Oh, but it's a hell of a story,
It was a scary story. I saw my life flash before my eyes when I slipped and started dropping that thing on myself. But we smartened up after that and we started moving it differently.
There you go. Dan Kimball, what's up? 16 Mesh in the house. Smoking Good Times, Maine. What's up? Purple Power. Robert Caracas, Bam Bam, what's happening? Uncle Steve, what's going on, brother? So as far as competing, did you guys just go through the fire and go through the ups and downs, all the learning curves? Or at some point you guys go, hey, let's go take a class somewhere. Obviously our good friend Billy Gillespie from Smoking Hogs has a class every year that a lot of guys have gone through. So
year 3, I decided I didn't want to be the weak spot on the team and suck and have everyone else beat me, which is what was happening. Like those first 2 events in Harvard, I was definitely like, I didn't know what I was doing. I knew I didn't know what I was doing. We talked to some people. They were saying, go take a class. I ended up flying out to Kansas City to take Rod Gray's class.
Okay.
And, it was eye-opening, right? That's the first time I realized what competition rubs and competition sauces were. And that was the way a lot of the teams are running. I started meeting people in the class and talking to them, and they're all like, yeah, we don't make our own stuff. And I'm sitting there like, oh, I'm doing this wrong, right? Like I don't know what I'm doing. So that class helped a lot to understand how things went. I took classes from Q Haven back in the day. I took Smoking Hog's first class that he ever had out in New York. So when there was a local class that was convenient for me, I would go to that, right? So that was kind of how I ramped up. And I know Jeff did a lot of online research. He was always sending me YouTube videos, like everything he could find. I mean, Jeff, I don't know if you want to talk more on kind of how you went through the fire.
Yeah, I just a lot of research, a lot of message boards when they were big. I mean, think about back to 2013, even before then when I was just barbecuing in the backyard. I mean, those message boards were huge.
Like the Barbecue Brethren. And
that was like the one I read every single day. I read the Brethren, So that was big. And then my first class, actually, Dan went with me. We went down 2 years ago and took Uncle Pig's class.
Hmm.
That was another little bit of an eye-opening experience. The level of detail, I would say, that he puts in everything that he does was a little eye-opening. I think just when you think you're good and you have a decent presentation, then you see, obviously won the Jack last year. When you see someone of that level, like really not cutting any corners on anything, and every little detail matters, it really drives it home. Like, okay, that's the next level.
Hmm.
So,
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And like you said, he won the Jack, and he does a lot of the events up with us. I think my first one was last year at the Granite State at Anheuser-Busch, and and he was up there, and he had confused me because every time first place was called, he was going up and grabbing everything, but it was oh, who wanted? They had to leave, so Urkel was hanging around. He was collecting
oh
everything. Um,
yeah, the Led Zeppelin logo.
yes, yeah, I can't remember the name for the life of me.
Yeah,
I
they
see the
crushed
big,
it.
I see the big red trailer, with a pig instead of the Swan Song logo. But yeah, he kept on walking. I'm like, oh, that must be him, and and lo and behold, it wasn't. But then I got another call and went, oh, wait a minute, why is you? I'm like, all right, I'm all confused then, glazed and infused. Thank you,
Yes.
folks. Um, yeah, he got all confused, and I was able to I met up with Urkel down in Houston, and we did a quick little hit, and yeah, genuine guy, soft spoken guy, you know, just loves doing what he does, just like all of us. You see the smile on the face when you start talking barbecue. It's like, yes, it's one of us, you know. So
You might like it
that
more than a lot of people. I mean, their travel schedule is insane.
yeah.
It has not been uncommon in the past couple of years for them to be down in Virginia and drive all night long and show up at like 3, 4 in the morning, you know,
Yep.
in a
Hmm.
contest up here in New England and cook it after, winning 800 miles away one time. He drove through the night and won another one. And, I mean, that's just crazy. I don't think Dan or I would ever consider doing anything like that.
It's commitment, man. It's commitment
Oh,
at a
for
whole other
sure.
level.
Oh, for sure.
But
Hey, Heidi, what's up? And oh,
I
there's
talk a lot
there's
online
Billy
about,
Gillespie.
yeah, well, Bill, that's just who I was going to bring up was um, Dan and I've recommended so many people take Bill's class. It's a really good class. The guy is always winning in New England, constantly every year. And if you want to elevate your game to be a contender in New England, don't
That's
even
the one.
hesitate. Take
Yeah.
Bill's class.
Yeah.
It's yeah. And then after that, if you want to go, I would say, out in the middle of the country or take someone else's class, go for it. But Bill is going to put you on the right direction every single time. There's no secrets, And then, even after you take his class, you can ask him any question you want. If he changes something, he may just pop over and be like, "Hey, by the way, I don't do this anymore. I'm doing this."
Yeah.
And that's the kind of guy Bill is. So.
Oh,
Um,
100%.
shout out to Bill and anyone that wants to take a class in New England. I'd start there.
100.
And he also has taken the class to the next level once he joined up with Barbecue Champs Academy.
Yeah.
So he's got that whole Barbecue Champs Academy out there for anybody who's interested in that, who's not in the New England area. Hop on there and you can buy his class there. And, from
Yeah,
my
Bill
understanding,
has told me it's the same exact class. So the
yeah,
in person and the barbecue champs class exactly the same. So if you want to see how Bill's winning. Order the barbecue champs class.
There are teams that I know who bought that barbecue champs class from him and watched them religiously to a fault, and they are getting calls right and left. So it works.
Oh, absolutely. Billy's just saying it's the same in person and online, exactly the same. So that's good to know. So once you guys got settled, how do you guys combine, or do you guys split up the proteins? Like you cook two, or do you kind of meet in the middle on some of the other ones?
Yeah. So I guess what I would say is I prepare two. I do pork and ribs. Jeff does chicken and brisket. We do all the prep separate. We kind of cook together a little bit. We have oversight on each other's cook. We're always looking at each other. We're deciding when things are done together. Like we look at that together. The end game is a whole bunch of teamwork. We have created just these weird scenarios where we just do things our own way, and we're both involved in the whole end game all the time, and it just works for us, and it's fun.
Yeah. That's cool.
All 4 meets, we're both in the trailer finishing. Once something gets unwrapped and we're ready to go, it's both of us working on all the meats.
Yeah, we don't even talk to each other other than which one is the most tender and should go into the box. We're just it's like a machine at this point. We have a whole system set up. We've done it over and over and over to a fault. So it's just how it goes. We're used to it.
There you go. So yeah, true team effort all the way around from start to finish. Always asking,
and
looking at the other one for a hint or an opinion. And
if something doesn't work, right, or something's not going right, we'll go talk about it. And the wild thing is, we come to the same conclusion, I think, every single time. I can't think once where we weren't in line, where we were like, I'm going to change this rub to this, or I'm going to do this to the sauce, or I'm going to do this. And literally the other one will be like, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking we had to do. And that's what we'll do. And it's been adjustment over the years. We didn't win from day one, right? Like we've been tweaking and tweaking for 10 years. Like we didn't really start hitting until like 2022. In 2022, we realized like we're doing good. We're getting a lot of calls. I think every event we were top 10, and that started feeling like, all right, we're getting dialed into something here. We just kept climbing. And again, online classes are great. Those things are great. Like there's ways to learn what those really good teams are doing. And we were just trying to learn everything we could from anybody we could. And we've been tweaking it.
Nice. Nice. So Dan, when you are not competing, what are some of the things you like cooking at the house?
Oh, dude, chicken wings all day long. Like, I have this obsession with chicken wings. Like almost every weekend, I am just cooking wings and eating them. I love them. I don't cook. I used to cook a lot of ribs just to eat, or like a nice salt, pepper, garlic brisket. But this year has literally been the year of chicken wings for me. And the nice thing about wings is you can run all these different sauces and rubs and all these different things you want to try out. Right. So
yes.
Like, every time I do wings, I've got like another rub going on or another sauce, and I'm trying them. Like that's been my go-to, just because you get to play around a lot with them.
Oh, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. That's exactly what I do when I get new stuff come in, and, go out, buy a bunch of wings, because you can literally separate them.
Yeah.
If you have one rub, fine. If you had 6 rubs, you can get the job done just to get to get an idea of the flavor profile, and you're not breaking the bank while you're doing it. And is there such a thing as a terrible chicken wing?
Nope.
I don't know.
The other thing I've been playing around with is pizza on the side a little bit. A little pizza is always good here and there. If you look at Jeff's page, it's pizza all day long, every day. So I don't post mine, but he'll be happy to.
And that's why this question had popped up, because this is a little bit of a my time on this one. So so Jeff, I'm going to ask you the same question, even though I figure out I pretty much already have the answer of how did you become a pizza man? Because the pictures you are putting up on your Instagram page of the pizzas you're doing they're tremendous. Those are
Thanks.
first class looking pies, brother.
Thanks. It's not unlike barbecue actually, because we all have our Facebook feeds, or I get like Snapchat stories or whatever of, oh, here's something 10 years ago. If you looked at one of my pizzas 10 years ago, it looked like I was just starting to learn how to make pizza. So, same with our barbecue journey. Honestly, it was practice and just keep cooking it and keep cooking it. And like Dan says, yeah, I love wings too. Wings or pizza probably both are every week in this house, and I just figure people are tired of seeing the pictures, so I don't post them every single week. Um, but yeah, it's just repetitively, cooking 120 pizzas a year, and just again paying attention to this small, learning what you have to pay attention to, trying different things. Um, Dan's been in my house. We've had some parties here. We cooked one night 13 pizzas or something. I think we wrecked one of them because we were both out in the shack making pizzas, and we're drinking and got carried away in some conversation. Next thing you know, when the pizza's oven is at 850 degrees, it only takes about 45 seconds for that thing to be black and inedible.
Oh, that's great. Ken
And eat
McGinnis,
pepperoni,
what's
Jeff.
up?
They always
Jeff
pepperoni.
Mullen and Joe, what's happening, brother? Because the reason I asked, Jeff, is I recently got the Kamado Joe Connected Joe. And I've known through the years a lot of guys with the Kamado cookers love doing pizza on them. So I haven't got there yet. I have the stones. I've had the stones for a while. I had gotten some stones from the Kettle Pizza guys
Yep.
down in Mass, and so but on that one, I know it can go to like 750 degrees, which would be good to cook the pizza. So you got any tips for a rookie gonna get into
This is going to
live
sound
firing it?
ridiculous, but it's learning your cooker. Because I also have a kettle pizza or a pizza kettle, whatever.
Yeah.
I used it quite a bit. And then Dan actually, or his daughter, I don't know which, has a
The solo stove pizza oven.
solo pie. So I actually cooked on that a little. I, eh, all these things, and I think Dan has maybe cooked pizza on his green egg. They all cook different,
Mm-hmm.
and there isn't one blanket thing. You have to really realize, in my opinion, is a lot of the heat coming from the bottom, or is it coming from the top more? Getting that stone, like let the pizza oven run for a while, get that stone at a consistent temp before you throw a pie on there, and then watch it. Watch what it's doing. Maybe spin it. If you're in a cooker that you can adjust the flame, you may need to turn it down if the top's cooking too fast, something like that. But there's nothing huge, like a big secret I can give you other than learn your cooker and learn, what temp best cooked pie in. They're all over the place, honestly,
Yeah.
and they're all different.
It's like any
Now,
cooking equipment, right? Just figure out how it works to get what you want. Like it is hard to get like a good crisp crust and the cheese all done at the same time. It's a skill.
sounds familiar from what the rest of the stuff we do. Now, do you guys buy your dough, or do you make it from scratch?
I buy mine 75% of the time these days, because I'm generally cooking pizza on a weeknight. If I'm cooking on a weekend, I probably made the dough. But if I'm
Mm-hmm.
posting on a weeknight, good chances are I bought it. And there's actually one I like a lot at Market Basket. That's a 603 IPA beer dough, or
Ooh,
I'll buy Yeah, it's really good. I use that when I buy dough, probably 80% of the time, and of course, then I'll do a Portland Pie Company if I'm buying dough.
Mine's all from scratch. Like I have to use the 00, like flour. I buy stuff shipped in from Italy. I won't go into my health issues with commodity flour in the U.S., but if I buy stuff from Italy, it's delicious and I feel great after I eat it. So that's what I do.
All
Usually
right.
takes about 24, 48 hours. So I get a plan before I make a pizza.
But Dan's dough recipe is phenomenal. It's really good.
All right. All right. So Smoking Good Times, Maine, it says, Dan, tell the pizza story from Italy.
Yeah, I don't know which one in particular, but I was in Naples and I basically got robbed while eating my pizza in Naples, and it was the people running the restaurant. So we ordered pizza. It was delicious, by the way. It was one of the best pizzas I ever had. And then we're going to leave, and you don't tip in Italy, right? Like we know this. So I'm going to pay. And then the guy's like in front of me, not letting me leave. He's like, "What, was it not good? Is this not good pizza?" I'm like, "What do you need?" And he's like, "Well, you could show some respect, right?" And so what I realized is he was like shaking me down for the pizza I just ate. So I was like, "Yeah, I'll give you $20. How's that?" And he's like, $20 makes me happy. And he let me go.
Wow. The great pizza
Yeah.
shakedown.
And then you get shaken down in order to leave the place. So I was like, this is, Italy at its finest at that point. The rest of the trip was great. The trip in Naples, not so much.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Dutch Mags, Patriots to the Super Bowl after upsetting the Bengals yesterday. Brother, they upset the Bengals. Slow down.
We'll take a win when we get it.
Absolutely at this point. Kristen, what's happening? All right. Here it comes. The Jack Daniels. Now, what event did you guys auto at for it?
Schenectady, New York, Frog Alley Brewing. It was a little confusing for a lot of people who pay attention to barbecue because that event happened the year before, but it wasn't sanctioned. Like it was a KCBS event, didn't get their state proclamation. So on the second year, the Jack decided that was going to be an auto, as it was a first year event and it was the event in New York, and we got lucky and hit that. I mean, we had a really lucky season. We're happy we won 3 GCs this year, right? We won Bristol, Connecticut, and then Masson May Day 2. So we had those. So we were really hopeful after those that we were going to have, get a bung draw. And then when we hit that auto out there, we were just elated. We're like, we're actually going. Like this is real. Like it's a done deal. Like that felt awesome.
Nice. Now, do you remember the cook itself? Was it one of these? My ribs sucked. The brisket was cardboard, and next thing you know, bing bang boom.
The only thing different was the chicken. Go ahead, Dan.
Well, the big thing different was that Friday night we overdid it. That whole cook, we were hungover. That like in past years when we started competing, we would maybe overdo it a little bit, right? And then I'd say in 2022 we really reeled back and cut back on how much we enjoyed ourselves to be really focused. But we were at a brewery and we were there with a lot of great friends, having a great time, going around to some different spots in the brewery and out of it. And I can tell you, I overdid it. I think Jeff will admit he overdid it. And like I was the next morning, I couldn't even open a Gatorade bottle. I was so hungover. Kathy Trainer had to open the bottle for me to let me drink my Gatorade. Like I was wrecked, and I stumbled my way through that entire cook. And yeah, we made some drunken mistakes along the way, but again, like you adjust, right? And like in the end game, you adjust everything. Overall, I'd say things went pretty good. The The chicken, we started messing around like a little bit for kind of prepping for the jack a little bit and things like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, we had crammed 6 or 7 pieces of chicken and another 6 or 7 wings into that box. You couldn't even see a speck of greenery in the
Yeah,
box because we're like, we got to start figuring out how we're going to cook white and dark meat for the jack. And that was the first
Yeah.
contest because we had 2 GCs. So we were like, hey, we better start practicing this because it's going to be an addition to our program, which, like Dan kind of mentioned, we have very down. We know what's happening when for the whole entire cook. Now you got to cook this extra chicken just randomly out of the blue. So it was at Frog Alley. We were like, oh, we better cook some wings, and we thought they came out really, really good, so we put them in. But the box was stuffed. Like,
yeah. And Ken is just texting in saying he has a photo of you, Jeff, sleeping in a chair mid cook.
I was
Like
going to
we,
bring
we
that
were in
up.
recovery that day, and I was shocked at how well we did.
Oh, that's awesome. uh, so, have you been talking to, Billy or Urkel,
Yeah.
guys who've been there before, knows what goes on, giving you some tips, hey, treat it this way, or, this is going to happen. This is the timeline they have for, quote unquote, events, setups, the meetings, things like that. I'm imagining some of the boys are reaching out and, giving you all the information y'all need.
Yeah, Mark from Fire at the End of the Day,
Hmm.
actually, that night that we were drinking too much at that event, gave us basically the master class on how the jack works and what you need to do. It was literally at 2 a.m. in our trailer. He was going over the whole thing, and then the next day I had to tell him I kind of drank too much and I don't remember everything you said, so we made him go through the whole thing again like a day later. But yeah, and then Bill and Sean have been awesome, like giving us tips, like telling us how it works. Because I'll be honest, I feel like I'm a deer in the headlights going into this thing. Like I don't know what to expect. You
Yeah.
know, we're gonna go cook our cook, but at the same time, there's a lot of stuff going on, and I have no idea what we're getting into. But yeah, Bill and Sean have been great coaching us up. Mark's been great coaching us up. Getting us ready. You know, Pat. Patty McHugh's like helping us out. Like everyone's been giving us some tips, so it's been nice to get a little grounding that way.
Good, good, good. Now, when is the leave date?
Oh, I gotta look at it's the Tuesday before, right?
yeah,
Yeah, the Tuesday before we're gonna start the drive.
Okay, so that's let's see.
8th. Is it the 8th?
Yeah, the 8th. Yeah,
Yeah.
Tuesday the 8th. Yep. Are you guys stopping or you guys one shotting it just for excitement purposes?
One shot mostly, but what we decided is if we got to stop and take a nap, and we're bringing a couple other people with us to kind of help us out on the drive.
Okay.
Um, if we got to stop and sleep, it's okay. We'll stop and sleep. We're gonna make the call, but yeah, we don't have any hotels booked. We're leaving Tuesday and going straight there.
Okay. And I was talking to Tim Rogers the other night, and I told him if when you guys are heading down there, if you're going in through the Chattanooga area and you seem to be little ahead of schedule, swing by Ottawa, Tennessee, and stop at the Owl's Nest Barbecue Pro Shop. It's Steve Ray, and he has an incredible store down there.
Nice.
It's inside his gas station, the Midnight Oil.
That sounds awesome.
And yeah, he had a couple bays, right? And unfortunately he had a fire a couple years ago in one of the bays. So they had to basically knock down those couple bays and rebuild. And he sat there, he goes, I got a whole brand new thing. I'm going to open up a barbecue store on the other side of the gas station. And he did. And it is phenomenal. He's got in such an array, just like any of the stores. But, he has some stuff that you won't find up here. Or, you wouldn't even think of even looking online for. He's and the different pellets. He actually carries Manchester pellets down there. So he's bring those guys in. He's a Green Mountain Grill distributor. He's the Kamado Joe's just got in recently. But yeah, if you guys get a little ahead of schedule and you're in that area, stop by, say hi. He'll love to meet up with all of yous and talk to yous. And who knows? You might have always forgotten something,
Yeah,
and he'll have it right there.
that is the fear, right? Like going that far away and being able to get what you didn't have is always a fear.
So speaking of, are you already hitting the checklists?
Not yet.
No. Okay.
I have my list I do for every event. Like I've got a system. I'm just going to follow that system.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of the advantage of, from the old days when we started out having bins and things like Dan and I built the trailer we're using totally together. It was our end of COVID project. We got together every weekend. He'd come up to the house, and we built that trailer for like what we need, and everything is in there, and pretty much nothing comes out. So even certain things like injectors or things like that. Like we have inside the house injectors, and we have stuff that kind of just stays in the trailer, so we can't lose it. The stuff that we need stays in there, and everything's got a home and a location, and that's kind of how we save ourselves from our own stupidity.
Smart plan right there. Smart plan. Absolutely. Because I'm always running around going, where the hell did I put this?
Yeah.
Or, hey, it was in the sink. Where is it now? It's on the couch down there. You got to put it in the garage, or it's in the garage, or it's on the. Like, oh my God. A 5-minute
text from me where I'm like, how much of this do I have in the trailer right now? Like, do I need to, refill something? But for the most part, everything's there that I need already.
Good. So the other question of the Jack is, do you have your reservations at Miss Mary Bobo's?
We do, Thursday at 1:00. And I owe that to my wife. My wife is the planner. So she's going to fly in. We're driving. She's flying in. And yeah, she made reservations for us Thursday at 1:00. So we're going to go get to see what that's all about. Because again, everyone just kept telling me, you got to go do that. I'm like, I'm not going to question you. I'm just going to go do it. So let's go do it.
Yeah, it's I've heard it's quite the experience. And it's that family style cooking and family style dining experience. And there's someone in each of the different rooms, giving the whole story and history. And I've never heard a bad experience from there. So, but yeah, that's the question. So all of you who are listening, who are coming on this next month, get ready and get your reservations if you still can. They probably are already gone.
That was why we grabbed it, and we booked this like a couple months ago. Right. Actually, we booked it, I think, the day after we hit the auto. We started looking, and there weren't many reservations left. And originally I was hoping we could catch up with some other of our New England teams and go with them. But once I saw there were no reservations, there's going to be 6 of us on our team down there. We booked the last event they had for 6 people and just took it at the only time they had. So, I'm going to guess some people probably relinquish their reservations and maybe you can get something, but we just grabbed the first one we had because I didn't want to miss out.
Yeah. Because you could think of that one. People have already made reservations just in case.
Yes.
And they didn't get the automatic or they didn't qualify and, they're not going. So yeah, that could have been a point too, but good. You got the reservations. Good. Because I know somewhere around here, I don't know where the hell it is. I hope I didn't lose it when we moved up, but I actually have a Miss Mary Bobo's cookbook. So it has most of the recipes that they cook down there, all in there. I do have one on watch on eBay, just in case I can't find it. I can always go and somehow get my hands on another one.
So have you been yourself? You've done it?
I have not. I have not. I would just I had learned about Miss Mary Bobo's through a cigar show. Who the hell was it? The General. And he's out of Florida, and obviously huge cigar, but huge Jack Daniels fan. And he would say he'd go for the the tour, multiple tours, but he was always talking about going and having a meal at Miss Mary Bobo's. So that's when I first heard about it years ago. And then when I got into barbecue and learned about the Jack, and it's like, oh, Miss Mary Bobo's, because some of the barbecue guys were talking about it. I'm like, oh, once again, all the worlds intertwine. So, oh, Tim Rogers says we'll be warming up the seats for you. We go at 11.
Nice.
Oh, tremendous. So, like I said, I appreciate you guys' time and joining me, getting your stories out and introducing you to everybody. What is, I guess, each of you's feeling on in mindset going to the Jack, and what are you expecting to, I suppose, walk away with? And what I mean by that is not necessarily a GC, RGC, or a call for that matter. More so as in the experience in a whole.
Me personally, I'm just going with a really open mind for the experience of what it can be. We also are going up on the hill. So we're going to Miss Mary Bobo's. We're going to do the dinner on the hill. And we're just going to go and cook our cook. And we're going to just try to hit all our marks and cook our cook. And the results are what the results are.
Mm-hmm.
It's our first time there. I think, honestly, it may be foolish for anyone to be walking into that competition thinking, oh, I want this result or I want that result. All these cooks are just the best of the best, right? So we're just, for me anyway, I'll let Dan answer for himself, but I'm just going with an open mind and gonna soak it all in and try to enjoy as much as I can.
Yeah, I want to go meet the other cooks, right? These are the best of the best. I've been watching online videos with these people. These are people I've been admiring the work they do from afar. Like, I want to get a chance to go meet with them, chat them up. I want to meet I would love to be able to meet everyone who's made it there. If I could. I don't know if that's realistic or not, but like, I just, I want to get a chance to go meet people, talk to people, hear the stories. I want to experience like dinner on the hill, all that kind of stuff. Like, I have no idea what I'm getting into, so I'm just trying to keep an open mind and go. Again, we're gonna go cook our cook and try to cook the best thing we can and turn it in and hope for the best.
That's all you can do, guys. Soak it all in and just cook. That's it.
Yeah, and I am looking forward to the New England contingent going down there. Like, it's exciting to have so many people going that we know. It's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't looked at the entire list of competitors other than, from here. I know Phil Breeden from LC Barbecue. He got in. Darren Worth, the GOAT, he'll be there, who is a tremendous guy. Great guy. If you have a chance to go stop by and see him and say hi, he's welcoming, and he just loves talking Q. Just a really nice guy. But yeah, you guys are gonna have a great time. I'm jealous. I ain't gonna lie to you, but go down there, represent New England, and whatever happens, hey, you did your best, and you're walking away with hopefully some new friends, bunch of old friends, and
And another great life experience. Yeah.
I can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
We're excited.
Awesome, brothers. Well, thank you so much Where can everybody find you guys on social media so they can follow you through the Jack?
Yep. El Jefe Smoke, one word, Facebook and Instagram. No spaces.
That's it, boys.
Yep.
But like I said, guys, thank you so much. I'm proud of you representing New England, and enjoy it, brothers. You deserve it. Well earned.
Thanks, man.
Thanks for having us on the show,
Can't wait.
Johnny.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thanks for
no
this.
problem, brothers. It's been a while coming, for sure. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I think this series with the Jack is going to be really good, and like I said, it finally gives me an opportunity to get a lot of the local teams in, and get you guys, the listeners and the viewers, introduce you to these guys, because like I said, I've competed with them. I spent weekends with them and known them, for different periods of time. But New England, where we're all friends, and be able to introduce everybody and with everybody. So follow them out at El Jefe Smoke, one word. And next week we have, unfortunately, not going to the Jack, but we got Dan and Kristen Kimball of 16 Mesh Barbecue.
You've got to ask him about the 922, man.
Absolutely. This is one of the first teams I met at the Granite State last year. And I was set up. I had met up with Matt Pereira from Matt's Backyard Barbecue, him and Heidi. And I was in between them and Dan and Kristen. And another great people. Can't say a bad word. They're awesome.
Yeah.
We'll talk about their smokers, because they are creations for sure. And we will definitely get into the infamous, because it is an infamous 922 shot that they pull off unlike anybody I've ever seen. Guys, I'll give you a little hint. All the shots come with a little snack. Just saying. But that's next week. Thank you all for tuning in. I am so happy the microphone worked. I didn't have to throw a baby hissy fit. I don't have to apologize to nobody. It all sounds good. I hope. I will find out when I listen tomorrow. But no one said anything about any echoes, so we are good. But like I said, Jeff, Dan, thank you again. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And until next week, keep the smoke rolling.